and welcome back everyone to some more Zelda Skyward Sword. Unfortunately, the audio and the video corrupted for this episode, and so like half of it didn't even record. So I just had to basically start it over at this point and just kind of do a voiceover for it because I don't know what happened. The whole like recording was just jacked up. Luckily though, the last bit of the actual video, which is this part, is pretty good. It's not, the video isn't messed up. Everything else before this, I don't know, it was all jacked up. But whatever, we can at least salvage some of it, which is I think about 20 minutes worth of video, which is all good. But this boss was a little annoying going up against it. I got the concept of it, but it was just annoying getting the motion to actually whip and yank off its arms. But I said earlier, this boss kind of reminds me, if anybody watches anime, Hunter x Hunter, when Netero uses his little ability against Miriam, this kind of looks sort of like that in a way. But yeah, I mean, it's a fairly cool boss design. I enjoy it. I think it's cool. It's just, like I say, getting this whip right can be tricky. Aside from that, this boss fight really reminds me of Super Mario Sunshine with the squid, where you had to like rip off its tentacles and then go for the final hit. That's sort of what this deal is here, where you're basically just going for the final hit and then utilizing that. Basically, that's essentially what this is. Now he is transformed even more. It's also kind of got like a hint of Iron Knuckle in there, you know. It sort of has that with the whole like towers near it that it can break to give you like health and everything like that. So it sort of has that element to it, similar to the Iron Knuckle from Ocarina of Time. And speaking of, you know, anime and stuff, I'm a huge Bleach fan, and the 1,000 Year Blood War arc trailer dropped today, because today's the 18th. This video probably won't be out till the 19th, but nonetheless, that was a really cool trailer to see, and you know, to see the first bit of the return of the anime, and it looks really good. Like, the animation's really sharp looking. You get to see Ichigo, Yamamoto, Byakuya, all sorts of characters you kind of get to see in the trailer. So I'm definitely excited for next year, because it begins October of next year. That's when the anime will come back. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one, because huge Bleach fan. I've waited for the anime to return for a while, so luckily it is coming back next year, and we finally got some official like when it's coming out, because last year it was announced that it's coming back, but we never had an official date. We just knew this year, 2021, something was going to happen with Bleach, but we didn't know what. And I'm pretty sure like COVID delayed it a little bit, but the announcement of the first trailer and all that is what we got this year, and next year the actual anime is coming back. It's just unfortunate it's going to be late 2022. That's the only thing that's a little unfortunate about it. I think we're about to get to the part where I know there's a part in this fight where he just goes all out. I think this might be it. I can't tell. It all looks kind of the same. Okay, there it is. Yes. This is the part. He goes on steroids, pulls out his 1,000 blades, and he's ready to rumble. And I'm ready to go up against him myself. Take him on. Let's go. And I've already recorded the next episode for this. What is this episode? I don't even know what the episode this is now. We've done so many of these episodes. This is like episode 41, maybe, somewhere around there. I think it's something like 41. I know we're very close, like very close to passing. It's 39. This will be episode 39, but we're real close to passing Majora's Mask. I think Majora's Mask was 45 episodes, something like that. So yeah, we're getting close. And this part of the fight was annoying to me because it's like, I don't know what it was with the swinging of the sword, but it just would not swing every time. Like, you would do the analog and it wouldn't swing, but every so often it was weird. It was very nitpicky on how it wanted to swing. Like right now I'm trying to swing it and it just does not want to swing. I don't know. Very weird. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just the motion controls don't want to work with you sometimes. And I think at some point I actually switched to the Joy-Cons for this fight because I just couldn't get the analog right, but I can't recall what I did. I will say that I think this is probably the coolest fight so far among the bosses. But at the same time, I mean, I'm trying to recall what the other boss fights even were. Because we had like, I know the Imprison, we did like the first fight with the Imprison. Because I know that's like an ongoing thing for a while. I don't know how many times you fight that thing, but I know it's like an ongoing thing. And I think we've only fought it once, so there has to be a lot more game left over for us to play. But we did that boss fight, and then Girahim was the very first fight. That one sucked. I hated that. He always grabs your sword. It's just like super annoying. Because I know there's definitely a mechanic or a certain way that they want you to fight Girahim so he doesn't grab your sword. I just didn't know what it was, and so it made it rough. And then I'm trying to think of who the lava boss fight thing where it like ran up the hill towards you and you had to knock it back down with bombs or whatever. That one was cool and all, but I think this has been the best one so far. I still think that Twilight Princess and Ocarina have my favorite boss fights out of the Zeldas, the 3D Zeldas at least. Breath of the Wild has the worst boss fights, and that's not even really a debate for me. They're all the exact same essentially, with a slight difference in each fight. Like one will be super fast, or one will fly in the air, or one can control ice or something like that, but design wise they all look essentially the exact same in Breath of the Wild. And then the final fight with Calamity Ganon is like one of the most biggest letdowns in a Zelda ever. So I'm hoping Breath of the Wild 2 greatly improves on boss fights, because that was definitely one of the weakest links to Breath of the Wild. As great as Breath of the Wild was, it lacked in temples and it lacked in boss fights with those temples. So I'm really hoping those two categories are greatly improved upon in the sweet sequel, and I feel like they will be, just because it's like they now have all the kinks worked out. They know like what will and what won't work for a Zelda game that size. Because Breath of the Wild, the first Breath of the Wild, it was mainly focused on basically the open world aspect of it, and not so much the story or the design of the temples or anything like that. It was just, you can go anywhere. You see that mountain up there? You can climb all the way to the top of it if you wanted to do that. And that's basically what the whole concept of Breath of the Wild really was all about. I'm hoping that the sequel improves on not just the openness of it and gives us more to go up on and everything, but also the story and the temples and all that. I hope that gets improved on. And it would be kind of interesting because in Breath of the Wild, you know, you're on the ground. That's the whole thing. It's the ground, it's Hyrule Field, it's all that stuff. The sequel, it seems to have that plus air. Like there's a bunch of like floating islands and stuff. It'd be really interesting if in if there were to ever be a Breath of the Wild 3 sort of deal, where it's now an underwater type of thing, where Now you can go on the floating islands, on the ground, and now you can dive underwater. Because that wasn't a mechanic in the first game. I don't know if they'll do that in the second, but wouldn't that be something? Breath of the Wild 1, you're on the ground. Breath of the Wild 2, you're in the air. And then Breath of the Wild 3, you're underwater. It's like a whole thing. Sort of like, it'd be kind of similar to Wind Waker. When you go under the ocean and there's Hyrule Castle and Hyrule Field and all that stuff, it'd be similar to that, where there's like a whole city, a whole town or something under the ocean. And so they can make a whole thing out of that. And I think that'd be kind of an interesting concept, but that's if they even do Breath of the Wild 3. I don't know that they would even do Breath of the Wild 3. And honestly, I wouldn't want them to do Breath of the Wild 3. I would want there to be a new Link and a new Zelda, you know? I wouldn't want to be stuck with the exact same Link and Zelda for a third consecutive game. I mean, if the Hero of Time could not get a trilogy, then the Hero of Nature, the Hero of the Wild, definitely shouldn't get it. Like, come on. Hero of Time absolutely should get a trilogy before any of them, but his time has passed. That's not going to happen. If they did do that, of course the plot would have to be something about Navi and reuniting them, but as we all know, he became the Hero Shade in Twilight Princess, so that's never happening. Oh, yep, here it is. This is where I said I wanted to give the Switch, wow, I'm forgetting what they're called. For some reason I'm wanting to say nunchuck, but that's not what that is. That's for the Wii. But yeah, I just switched them, and it works so much smoother. It's ridiculous. And I think I'm actually about to beat him here. No! Don't be playing songs. Yep, we just beat him. Oh, did we? Oh, wow. And now I'm switching back to the Pro controller. Because that's what I've said, you know, it's like with the Pro controller, it's just so much easier to walk and do everything else because I'm used to those controls. And so that's what I prefer to make my primary way of playing. I am starting to get a little bit more used to how how the analog works. Like, I think I figured out a little bit more of how to use that, but it's still a bit annoying. And now I'm switching back. Dun, 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 dun. I hope that Phantom Ganon is in Breath of the Wild too. Phantom Ganon was always a favorite of mine, with Ocarina of Time still having the best Phantom Ganon. Like that's still the best Phantom Ganon. I did like the one in Wind Waker, he was pretty cool. And then Twilight Princess, did it have a Phantom Ganon? It's been so long since I've played Twilight, I can't recall. It might not have. I don't think that one had one, because I know Wind Waker had a Phantom Ganon and a Puppet Ganon, which was really cool. I actually liked that. I thought that was a cool concept. But the Twilight Princess game, I don't think it had a Phantom Ganon. I think it was just Ganon, Zant, and that was it. I don't think there was a fake Ganon type of thing. And that's another game I gotta play. I gotta play Twilight Princess eventually, because that game is so much fun, and it's such a massive game. Like, to me, the perfect Zelda game would be something like Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild combined. You know, like something like that to me would be like the perfect open world Zelda, because the thing about Breath of the Wild is it's a massive game, it's huge, there's so much that you can explore and everything, but it's a lot of the exact same stuff. Like the whole shrine thing kind of got boring after a while. I can only go into a blue room and do puzzles so often, and they're essentially the exact same puzzles. There'll be like a little ball and you have to get it from this end to that end, or there'll be robots that you have to kill, or something else. Like there's always like the premise is the exact same. It's just the way that you get there might be a little different here and there, and that's it. But I think Twilight Princess did it really good, where there was a lot of different little things that you could do and explore in that world. If they could just do that on the scale of Breath of the Wild, I think that'd be like perfect, because then you would get the best of both. It of course would never top Ocarina of Time. That's just untouchable. I think I kill him here. This is where I think I kill him. There we go. Surely to God he is dead now, forever, as he should. Boom! Okay. Wonderful. He's dead. He's gone. Forever. Forever and ever and ever. Bum bum bum. Heart container. It's so nice. Like, the design of the heart containers have come such a long way since Ocarina, where it was literally just a clear heart with like a red heart in the center. That was all the heart containers were back then. And then I think they changed by Wind Waker, because Majora's Mask was the exact same thing. Wind Waker changed them back, and so we got all nice again. And so that was that. And I think I have audio for this part that actually is good, so I might be going away and letting the audio from before come back. If it's good, I can't recall, I don't know. So I might get cut off here and the original audio will be back for this. I forget if I had good audio or not, but I think I was able to salvage this part of the audio and video. Like I said, all this was good. It's just like the first 15 minutes was just nothing. It was just crap. Both audio and video were ruined. So, but like I said, I think the audio here in a minute is good. Wherever it's good, that's where I'll cut it back to the original audio, if it's good. If not, then it'll just be me here improvising still. But we'll see what happens. Oh, the first flame of the Goblet of Fire. And I do think this is going to get easier, I believe, as the story progresses, just because it's like our sword is going to get stronger and all this other stuff. And so I think that sort of has a bit of an element to it, because now it's like, okay, our blade is getting stronger and therefore we can kill enemies easier. So I think once we get all the flames, things will be a lot easier than they originally would be. Or at least that's what I'm hoping. I don't know. Flames Forge has improved your sword, making it longer and sharp enough to do twice as much damage. Thank God. So it actually benefits you in some sort of way. It now does twice the damage. The sacred flame has purified your blade, enhancing and evolving it. With your sword now enhanced, you are ready to learn a new melody. We should return to the Isle of Songs. Oh my God, I have to go all the way back there just to learn a new song? That is so annoying. Oh, the sword you carry is different since I last saw you. Yes, I see it is much improved. To think the goddess's chosen hero is but a mere boy, quite a twist. Chosen hero or not, you do not yet possess the strength required to wield the full power of the blade. You must train yourself further, devote yourself wholly to this task. Farewell, boy. I mean, that's all fine and good, but y'all serious? I have to go all the way back over there, back to Skyloft, and then fly back into the freaking clouds. Just go up there. I'm ready to leave the water area. Water temples suck. They involve motion controls, and I'm actually one. Oh my god! Please go up there. What is this? I actually like the water temples in most Zelda games, but this one just screw it. Well, I have no idea how the audio is for this video, so who knows. I just looked over just a second ago and saw that it disconnected, and then I plugged it back in, so I don't know if it just, like, the mic just unplugged, or not unplugged, but unconnected. I don't know. So we'll see how much of that audio actually stuck and how much of it isn't there, but I want to go ahead and end this episode here regardless. I guess I gotta go learn another song, and it's so inconvenient how you have to learn songs in this game. Why can I not just learn it? What about to go to a specific location to learn the stupid song? I don't know. This game's all about inconveniences. I will see you all in the next one. See you then.